Welcome everybody to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today, and this week sees Harley Quinn back in action in Birds of Prey hitting store shelves along with the horror adventure Fantasy Island. You also have the complete fourth season of Lucifer, and Scream Factory is releasing a collector's edition Blu-ray of the 1999 stoner horror comedy Idle Hands, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we're at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. Alright everybody, we are in Walmart here with this display for Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Very nice. Look at this display. Nice, man. And the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Damn, that is one long-ass title. For $24.96. They also have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital for $29.96 right here. They also have the DVD as well for $16.96. Now, actually, you get different artwork depending on which version you guys are going to pick up. The DVD has this artwork, not half bad right there. You also have the 4K artwork right here, which is very different from the DVD art. Actually pretty good artwork right here. And then you have the Blu-ray art, which is different from the 4K art right here and different from the DVD art as well. I really love when companies do this, when they give people a selection of different cover art depending on which format you're going with. It's very rare. We don't see it all the time, guys, but when we do, it's really special. And with these ones, it really is pretty cool, man, that they did it for this movie, man. Not half bad, depending on which format you guys are definitely going to go with. But John and I ended up doing a movie review for Birds of Prey. You can catch it on the movie review playlist. I'll also put a link down below in the description if you guys want to hear our full and complete thoughts on the movie. And we were sort of half looking forward to the movie and half not. Because to be fair, we really don't like Suicide Squad, man. I remember when I saw it back in 2016, and God, I really didn't care for that movie. It's just not a really good comic book movie. It really fails in a lot of ways, man. It really honestly does, dude. But the standout of that movie was Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn was the standout of that entire film. She was the one people were talking about. She was the one that the little girls dressed up like for Halloween. And it was sort of one of those movies that really helped sort of catapult Margot Robbie and really for people to really notice her a lot more. And after Suicide Squad, everything kind of went silent. There was rumblings of maybe or maybe not they would do a Harley Quinn spin-off movie or another Suicide Squad film. None of that really happened for a long while until we got this movie. And the movie's a mixed bag, to be sure. The movie's really a mixed bag, guys. And the reason why is that Harley Quinn is an interesting enough character. Margot Robbie does a good job playing the role. I think the action is good here. The characters are quirky enough. But I think there's a lot of problems here as well. The movie is R-rated, and there's nothing in the movie that really feels like it needs to be R-rated. It feels like this could have been PG-13 and went to a wider audience. At the same time, it's not really a Birds of Prey movie as well, because Birds of Prey, really it only becomes a Birds of Prey movie towards the end of the film when you have all of them teaming up together. Before that, it's just basically the Harley Quinn film. So why call it Birds of Prey if you're not really going to make it a true Birds of Prey movie? And also, the other people in the Birds of Prey, people like Huntress and Black Canary and everything, they're really dry characters. They're not really exciting. They don't really bring anything new or interesting to the table here for the film. And the problem that I have is that this was supposed to turn into like a trilogy of movies with them sort of teaming up together. And first impressions are really important, man. First impressions are like vitally, vitally important, dude. And Hunter has never made really an impression on me. Neither did Black Canary. It felt like they were really relegated to just basically side roles or cameo roles that really, it was all in the service of Harley Quinn, and it didn't really feel like a like female team up movie the way I was hoping it was gonna be. And the problem also is that the movie, does it want to be like a big budget comic book action movie, or does it want to be a female empowerment movie? Does it want to be sort of a quirky comedy? It doesn't really know what it wants to be, man, and it's kind of unfortunate because, again, there's a lot of good things in the movie. Like I said, Harley Quinn is a standout here. Margot Robbie does a great job here. I think the action is really pretty cool, actually. And I gotta admit, the one person who also stands out outside of Margot Robbie is Black Mask himself, dude. Ewan McGregor does a really fantastic job as Black Mask, dude. He chews up the scenery. He has such an awesome time playing this role, and I loved watching him every single second, dude. He was a blast, dude. Him and Margot Robbie definitely make this movie, but outside of that, I felt the movie was, unfortunately, I just felt it was a really big missed opportunity, and I was really hoping for a lot more, but unfortunately, we just didn't get it, man, and it's a real goddamn shame. Again, it's not a terrible movie. I liked it well enough, but, you know, with bringing Harley Quinn in the spotlight and really just making this a big female empowerment statement of a movie, I was hoping it was going to be much, much better, and one of those ones that was really going to catapult Harley Quinn to even more superstardom. And I just don't think it did that, guys. I think it failed in a lot of ways. I really honestly did. It depends on your mileage and what you think of Harley Quinn, but going with a little bit lower expectations, it's good, but it could have been great, and it just wasn't, guys. That's my honest opinion, though, guys. And not bad covers, actually, man. Really great here. I don't see any exclusives unless one of these covers are actually an exclusive, but I'm not quite sure. It doesn't say only at Walmart or anything, but really great stuff here, guys. Great selection, great covers. Not half bad, man. Pretty damn cool, I think. Well, not bad display either. Let's see what else they got. All right, we're over in this section over here, guys, and the first thing I'm seeing over here is they do have a Blu-ray and digital code 2 film collection of Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad for $27.96, and a DVD 2 film collection set for $19.96. I don't know why anybody in the world would want Suicide Squad, man. I really don't. No offense to you guys who like the movie, really no offense, but goddamn, dude. I mean, I'm not the hugest fan of this movie, but Jesus, man, it is miles better than Suicide Squad by far, dude. I mean, Joker with the fucking grill. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Yeah, dude. I would easily buy Birds of Prey over Suicide Squad any day of the week, but have them both in the collection. The price maybe not half bad, but again, dude, no way, dude. I'm sorry, man. Not in this lifetime. Not anytime soon, man. No way, dude. They also over here have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of The Call of the Wild for $24.96. The Blu-ray DVD and digital for $19.96, and the DVD only for $14.96 right here. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and to be fair, guys, you know, I watched the trailer, and the trailer really didn't do anything for me. I mean, I love dog movies. I'm a huge dog fan, but the movie really did nothing for me as far as, like, the trailer is concerned. And I know it's based on a book, and I think I read the book in, like, high school or something like that. I kind of remember it a little bit. I mean, basically the story is just how this dog has to learn to trust this man and the adventures that they go on. And It's a heartwarming and adventurous tale, and yeah, the movie's actually not bad. To be honest with you, the movie's actually pretty decent. I like Harrison Ford in here quite a bit. I've always really liked Harrison Ford regardless anyways. I like the relationship between him and the dog. I like the adventures that they go on. The film looks beautiful. The acting from everybody is pretty good. I got to admit, though, that the dog... Oof, man, the CGI on the dog is really rough, dude. There's moments here where I was really taken out of the film because it looks so vividly like CGI, man. It just took me right out of it. It didn't feel realistic at all, and that's kind of the problem with the movie. The movie does have its slow points at times, too, which may or may not sort of kind of bore you guys a little bit, but I think it was the dog stuff. I wish they would have tried to do a live action dog as much as humanly possible, but it's like going full CGI. That was a little tricky, man. I don't think it really worked. That being said, the movie's not half bad, though. It's not the greatest movie I've ever seen, to be honest with you, but it's not a bad time waster either. It's pretty decent overall, though, but that goddamn CGI dog, man, really took me out of it, dude. That's just me, man. Definitely let me know your thoughts on the Call of the Wild. It probably would look really amazing in 4K, though. Probably would. Then I'm also seeing down here they have the Blu-ray DVD digital of The Photograph for $22.96 and the DVD over here for $17.96. Now, I also got a chance to watch this one on Amazon Prime as well, and I really didn't know much about this one. I know it came to theaters, but it must have really passed me by, because I really didn't hear much about it. But once I sort of dived into it more and got to check it out, I ended up actually finding out, about it being this sort of romantic love story over sort of generations, and sort of like the love that these people grow to have with each other, and the drama that they have with one another, and yeah, I really wanted to like The Photograph a lot, guys. I really honestly did. The movie's not terrible. Okay, I mean, I think the acting here is great. I think Lakeith Stanfield is really good. I think Issa Rae is really good here. I think all the actors do a really fantastic job with this movie. I think the problem is that the movie is really dull and boring and kind of lifeless. I think the best sort of way I can equal it is it's kind of like dry toast. It really is, man. And that's not to be mean to the movie. It's just that it felt long and dragged out and really boring. It really was, dude. I mean, and that's really the unfortunate thing about it, because as much as the actors do a good job here, I'm not really feeling the connection between a lot of them, and it was so dragged out and dull that by the end of the movie, I really didn't care. There are some really great love story style movies out there for people to really enjoy, and I was really hoping that The Photograph was going to be one of those ones, because the actors here are really great actors overall, but this movie really missed the mark, guys. It really did. And again, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's trying to talk about generational love and how we can find our soulmate, by chance. And there's a lot of really great ideas here, and there's a lot of really great sort of topics that they bring up, but the love story is the main thing in this movie, and it just didn't work for me. The film and everything was just really slow, and yeah, the movie is about an hour and 40-ish minutes long, and it really needed to be cut down by at least 10 or 15 minutes, dude, because I was not feeling this movie whatsoever. I wanted to give it a chance because I like love stories, but this one just didn't do it for me, guys, unfortunately. The actors are great, but they just can't save a dull movie, unfortunately. Other than that, that seems to do it over here, guys. I mean, they don't have Fantasy Island and a couple other things, unfortunately, but hey, 3 is better than none, right? Not bad, guys. All right, well, it is what it is. Let's head out. It could have been a little bit better, just a little bit more of the new releases this week, and it would have been really fantastic here at Walmart, guys. That being said, hey, look, man, we still got some of the new releases this week, and when it comes to this Walmart, we'll take what we can get, guys. Let's be fair here. But no, I mean, it's not a bad selection here overall. There was actually a lot of stuff being released this week. I keep on telling you guys that it's like I keep on waiting for a week where we don't have a lot of huge releases coming out and a lot of media. And right now, we're still getting quite a bit of stuff, guys. And most of the stores have pretty good selection here. And you got to give it to Walmart. They have a really cool display for Birds of Prey, which is really nice. There are a lot of variety and selection, and a couple of the other new releases as well. Yeah, they definitely got to update their older titles here as well. A lot of this stuff has been sitting here for quite a while. Even the indie stuff here, they definitely need to update that. But again, baby steps, guys. A lot of baby steps with this Walmart for sure, man. But that being said, not half bad, guys. Always could be a little bit better, but still not bad, especially for a so-so Walmart. You know what I mean? But hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's head to the next location. See what we can find. All right, everybody. We are at our second location, Target. Now, before we go in, you know, I was looking at stories on Facebook, reading up on certain things, as I normally do during the week, certain articles and whatnot. And there was a very interesting article about Amazon Prime. Now, I use Amazon Prime a lot. I really do love Amazon Prime. I have no problem paying the subscription service for it. I'm cool with it. However, there is a Amazon subscriber in California who has put a lawsuit on Amazon Prime because they found out that their digital purchases of movies on Amazon Prime are not permanent digital purchases. That even though they buy those movies digitally, they do not own them. Amazon Prime still owns them, and that they can be taken away at any moment, at any time. What a shocker. Okay, look, I've said it time and time again, and I'll continue to say it here. You have to read the fine print when you're buying anything digitally. Voodoo codes, you know, buying a movie digitally on a service, whatever, going on Netflix or Hulu or whatnot. Read the fine small print. Because what you think you're purchasing is not what you're really purchasing. Because what it really ends up coming down to is that you are technically buying a long-term rental. And that's it. You are literally renting the movie for a long period of time. And that's all you're doing. You're not buying the movie. Okay, you may think you're buying the movie, but you're really not. Not at all, guys. And this is why I love physical media, man. This is why I do. And I get the argument, man. Everybody says, well, look, man, you know, it takes up too much space in your place. You know, it's a hassle, and it's just a mess. And I've heard it all, dude. I've heard it all. Trust me. And I see things like this with licensing agreements and licensing laws and everything like that. And I see people who are like, well, digital's great. And I don't hate digital by any means. I watch a lot of things digitally on streaming platforms, and I do it because, sometimes I watch a brand new movie through digitally, but I know I'm renting it. That's what I know I'm doing, or a service that only carries that movie. I know what I'm doing. But I buy physical because I want to own these movies. You're not owning these movies, guys. You're not doing it. I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be mean or shit on digital, but it really is the truth, man. If you really want to own a movie, you buy the physical disc. That's what you do, because I guarantee you that a lot of you guys that are out there who are quote unquote buying these movies digitally, wait 5 years or so, or maybe even less. And I guarantee you those movies that you think you have digitally are gone. They're not going to be around. They're going to go to another platform, and you're going to have to go on that platform. You're going to have to rebuy the movie, and it's just a whole thing of having to rebuy it constantly. Yes, physical media lovers rebuy movies constantly. Trust me, I've done it quite a bit. But once I buy a movie, I buy it on the physical disc. It's mine. No digital subscription service like Amazon Prime or Hulu or Netflix are going to take that away from me anytime soon. They're just not, guys. So I love seeing the argument of the people who love digital, that stick by digital 100%. And there's going to come a time when digital is not as reliable as you might think it is for the movies that you love. That's why buying physical matters. I just thought it was a very interesting article to sort of dive into and look into and read, and that this one person in California felt like he was being duped by Amazon Prime, when in fact, really, Amazon Prime did nothing wrong in this case. It's up to you to read the fine print of all this stuff, and it's up to you as a consumer to be smart about your purchases and to do your research. That's what it's all about, guys. These companies aren't going to do the research for you. They want to dupe you. They want to scam you. And it's up to you to be smart about it. Just what I thought, guys. It was kind of really interesting. I want to talk about that. But regardless of that, guys, actually this week there's a lot of really great physical media that's come out. A lot of variety and selection. Far more than I thought there was going to be this week. And we saw a little bit over at Walmart, but I guarantee we probably will see a little bit more over at Target. Target's been really great so far this year. A lot of really great selection and variety and exclusives. And they've actually been really consistent so far, at least in my area. So with a big physical media week, means a good week over at Target. I'm hoping that remains true. Let's head in. Check it out. All right, everybody. We are in a Target over here with this small display for Birds of Prey right here. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all, guys. And it looks like they got some variety to check out, man. And the first thing I am seeing over here is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of Birds of Prey for $29.99. They have the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $24.99. They also have the DVD for $17.99. And this is actually a different cover than the one we saw over at Walmart. So I'm assuming that the DVD cover over there is actually an exclusive, but it never actually said Walmart exclusive, which was weird, man. But that's kind of cool. So if you're looking for a different DVD cover, you can get one over at Walmart, or you can get one here. Again, different than the Blu-ray and different than the 4K. Still an interesting artwork for Birds of Prey. Always doing some unique stuff, man. Of course, they have to put it next to Suicide Squad. Oh, God. Again, I reiterate, Joker had a fucking grill. Really? Ah, fuck, man. Jesus. A fucking grill. God damn it. And then, one last thing is they also actually have an only at Target exclusive packaging for Birds of Prey for $24.99 right here as well. And I actually kind of like this. Sort of very comic bookish, very colorish. I actually kind of like that. That's actually not half bad. Again, very different from the other artwork that we've been seeing. Not half bad. Like I said, a ton of different kind of unique artworks, all for Birds of Prey. Kind of crazy for this film of all things. And it also comes with an exclusive free digital comic book, and that's what it kind of looks like. The comic book right there. Interesting for all you sort of comic book lovers out there. If you're interested in that, not bad, man. Not bad at all. Now, from what I gather, the Harley Quinn character first appeared in comic books around 1993, around the fall of 1993, if I'm not mistaken. And around that time in 93, I was still into comic books, but to be fair, I was sort of waning a little bit, and I wasn't really a Batman comic book fan. I was more of a Superman comic book guy. So Harley Quinn actually kind of passed me by. I never really knew much about the character until Suicide Squad came along, and then I really found out more about her. You know, being sort of the Joker's woman and how she's very mischievous, and I kind of learned all of that through Suicide Squad and then doing my own research and everything. But it was always interesting because she was always sort of the side chick. She was always sort of the crazy, weird side chick of the Joker. And that's kind of what she was in Suicide Squad to a certain extent. She was the side chick in this huge ensemble of a movie, and she definitely stood out. But I'm curious if you guys think that a side character is worthy of getting their own sort of leading comic book film. I'm curious whether you guys, like, what your thoughts are on it, because is the Harley Quinn character, is she interesting enough as a side character to move her to the front of the pack to have her own film? I mean, she was the standout in an ensemble movie, but when you give her her own film and make her front and center, is she as interesting as she could be? I'm kind of curious what you guys think about that. See, I'm not fully convinced that she can hold an entire film on her own. I think she's a unique character. I think Margot Robbie plays her really well. And speaking of Margot Robbie, man, you know, I love Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie ended up going to Warner Brothers with this project. She wanted to do this. She wanted to do another Harley Quinn film. She loved playing the character from Suicide Squad, and she wanted to do more with it. And I've loved her as an actress. I mean, whether it was The Wolf of Wall Street, and I remember in The Wolf of Wall Street, when that scene comes on where she is butt naked and standing right there, there were so many, like, gasps from men in the theater. And it's not gasp because it's ugly. It's gasp because, like, oh my gosh, she's really hot, and holy shit, she's naked. And then there was also a collective slap from women who were slapping their men in the face for doing that. So, yeah. But she's great, man. I mean, she's great in Focus with Will Smith. She's great when she's talking about an economic collapse while in a bubble bath in The Big Short. I mean, she's great, dude. And it's really great to see an actress like her, who's now a big actress, doing big roles, to still want to do this Harley Quinn role, still really loving the character when wanting to do more with it. It means that she's passionate about what she does. And that's not a bad thing. But I just think the problem here, honestly, I think the major problem is that I just don't know if the character is really worthy of its own standalone movie, that it can hold herself up with a movie just focused on her. And I think that's why they put in the Birds of Prey characters, to kind of make it a little more interesting. Unfortunately, they came in too late into the movie. They weren't as interesting as they could be. But I'm kind of curious of taking a side character from a comic book or a sort of spin-off movie and giving it their own film. I'm just kind of curious what you guys think about that. I mean, you look at characters like Iron Man and other characters like that, and they were always not the most popular characters, but they were still leading characters. This was a side character that moved to the front. I'm kind of curious what your guys' thoughts are on that. Definitely let me know about that one, guys. But not bad, actually. Not a bad, actually, exclusive cover. Pretty cool, man. You do get here bird's eye view mode, gag reel, birds of a feather featurette. Sanity is So last season. Wild Herds, Grime and Crime. Let's see if there's not bad featurettes, man. Not bad at all. Like I said, it's a good comic book movie, but it's not great, and it had the potential to be really good. And even though I really like Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn, I just don't know whether or not it's worthy for the character to have its own, like, leading role film. You know what I mean? Interesting. They also, over here, I just wanted to point out, they do have this DC Universe movies villains triple feature as well, among other sort of DC stuff here too. And that's for $14.99 the DVD, and it has about 3 Batman features that I assume star Joker and Harley Quinn as well. And I think, because I know they're doing another Suicide Squad film, and I believe Harley Quinn is going to look like this in that movie. She's going to look like her sort of traditional way that she usually looks. She's had a couple of different looks in the film. She's had like a look like this in the film. She's had that look, and she's also had a look like this. But I think in the James Gunn Suicide Squad one, she's going to look more traditional here. Interesting. But definitely let me know your thoughts on the side character thing. I'm interested to find out, man. But not bad, and not bad display, guys. Let's see what else they got. All right, we are over at this area of Target, guys, and actually not much to show off over here. And I thought we'd actually see a hell of a lot more, but actually not. The first thing I'm seeing over here is they have a only at Target exclusive steelbook collection for all of the Hunger Games movies for $49.99. I didn't know that this was actually coming out this week. That totally shocks the hell out of me. I was not expecting to see a steelbook collection for the Hunger Games films at Target, of all places. I thought if we were going to see that, it probably would have been at like a Best Buy or something, but no. That's interesting. What an odd time to put out a steelbook collection for the Hunger Games. Like, you thought that would have probably happened like a while back. Like, not right now. A weird timing. Actually, it's not a bad case, though. The case is actually pretty cool. Actually, it looks pretty decent, honestly. And you got all the steelbooks here. And actually, most of them line up, except for Hunger Games Catching Fire. That's like the odd redheaded stepchild of the steelbooks. Like, it's silver and white. Why didn't they match the other ones? Like, that's really weird. It's odd. Nice. If you guys are interested in the Hunger Games and haven't picked up anything and like steelbooks, I guess it would be a win-win, man. But, you know, I like the Hunger Games quite a bit. I think the Hunger Games is a really good quadrilogy of movies. But I can't say it ends very strong. The first one was a real surprise for me. I really loved it a lot. I liked the survival aspect of it with the kids and the tournament. I thought that was really cool, sort of kill or be killed. Catching Fire was really fantastic. I thought Francis Lawrence did a great job. And then Mockingjay Part 1 was kind of lackluster to me. I wasn't a huge fan of Mockingjay. I mean, I liked it well enough. I saw it in the movie theaters, but it didn't wow me. And Mockingjay Part 2, I like it. I think it's way better than obviously Part 1. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, though, that I think it didn't quite end the actual like movie series in the best way it could have. It's still decent. I still like them, but I think the first two films are much more consistent and much better than I think the last two films are. But I still think it's a decent series overall, though. It's not bad, man. Donald Sutherland plays a great villain. I think that Jennifer Lawrence is awesome here as Katniss Everdeen. So I think there's a lot to actually really like here. And the action's actually not bad. Actually pretty good, man. If you're a fan of Hunger Games and Steelbooks, not bad, actually. And then over here, guys, I'm seeing they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of The Call of the Wild, the Blu-ray DVD digital for $19.99, and the DVD only for $14.99 right here. Now, it's kind of interesting because I was doing my research on this film, and there has been many films that have been made about the Call of the Wild, man. I'm actually really surprised because I was doing it, I was looking at it all the way back to 1935 with Clark Gable. There was one in 1972 with Charlton Heston, I believe, and even one in 1993 with Ricky Schroeder. Of all people, for goodness sake. I know they've made different adaptations as well, some for kids, some that are a little bit more adult as well. I guess it just depends on which adaptation of the Call of the Wild that you're into, but they've done a lot of them, and various different leading men and people really taking up the mantle. And Harrison Ford is in good company. Clark Gable and Charlton Heston, well, Ricky Schroeder, excluded here, but I think Harrison Ford did a good job here. He has that sort of gruff, old school leading man quality that really does well for a movie like this. But there was another movie that I was thinking about, which is one that I think is vastly underrated that no one really talks about, and that is a movie called White Fang with Ethan Hawke. If you guys have never heard of that one, I believe that one came out in 1991. If I'm not mistaken. That's a really great one as well, sort of in the wilderness with his dog, surviving. Very interesting movie. White Fang, definitely give that one a look. And another one I was thinking about, not really, well, I guess it is survival in a lot of ways, but I was also thinking of one for the kids to really watch, and that is Homeward Bound. I remember watching Homeward Bound when I was really young, man, and that sort of got me loving animals and sort of adventure films like that. That's a really good one for kids as well, man. If there's any other ones, definitely sort of let me know your thoughts on that, guys. I'd really be interested to find out, man. This is not a bad movie, and I can't really compare it to the other Call of the Wild films because I've never actually seen all the other ones, but I'd actually be interested to sort of give those a look at some point. This is good where those films had real dogs that they had to deal with. This one, they went the CGI route, and I think the CGI kind of killed the film a little bit with the CGI dog stuff, whereas the other ones probably are a little bit better because they had trained dogs and it felt more real. It's still good, though, and it's still a good adventure film worth definitely giving a look to, though, man. You got It's All About Buck and The World of the Wild. Not a lot of special features, man. Not a lot, but it's still, if you like Harrison Ford, if you like adventure movies, CGI looking dogs, then give Call of the Wild a chance, man. Other than that does it here, guys. I mean, I'm not seeing Fantasy Island or a couple other things that came out this week. I was hoping more, but unfortunately, we just didn't get it. Thought we'd get a lot more here. Guess I was wrong. All right, well, let's head out. Okay, so look, I was wrong. All right, I was wrong, man. I thought Target would have a lot more selection this week than what we honestly got, man. I mean, we still haven't seen Fantasy Island, and I know there was a few sort of indie titles that came out this week that I figured maybe Target wasn't going to carry, but I was kind of hoping a little bit. And we didn't see Lucifer either, so I guess we kind of out of luck over this Target. Usually, when there's a pretty decent release week, Target has a lot, but this time around, not as much, man. I mean, it was good to see that exclusive for Birds of Prey, which actually is not bad, and a Hunger Games Steelbook collection that I was really shocked that we got a Steelbook collection this week for Hunger Games, for all things. Whatever. But, I mean, not as big a variety as I wanted, but some stuff to offset it. Not bad, I guess, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's head to the next location. See what we can find. All right, everybody. We are at our third and final location. You guessed it. We are at our second Walmart. We're going to try to see some of the indie titles that might have came out this week, and hopefully we might just see Fantasy Island finally. But before we go in, I wanted to talk about a movie trailer with you guys. And it's one that came out last week, and it looked really interesting, and that is Becky. So, you know, it's interesting because a lot of people have been really talking about this movie, Becky, and I was curious to want to check out the trailer to it, and it stars Kevin James and Joel McHale. Now, it's about this sort of 13-year-old girl, kind of, you know, starting in her teenage years, kind of, she's kind of rough around the edges, and these people escape prison, and one of them being Kevin James, and they're looking for this sort of key that will lead to something that they badly want. And it's in this house, and apparently the teenage girl Becky has the key, and they are after her in order to get it. However, what they don't anticipate is that Becky is one badass bitch, and she's going to stop them at all costs from getting the key, and perhaps she's ready to put a hurting on them. Look, man, this trailer was pretty interesting, and the best way I can describe the trailer is that it's almost like a more twisted version of Home Alone, is what I can say, man. I mean, she's pretty much playing a Kevin McAllister type of character that is much more darker, much more twisted, and she will definitely be drawing blood and killing them in a big bad way, dude. That's what this chick is going to do. She wants to hurt these people. And I think another thing that people have really been focusing on with this trailer has been Kevin James. Because Kevin James, man, he is a comedic actor, dude. He is through and through, King of Queens, the Sandler stuff. He is a comedic actor. But this time around, he is playing a cold-blooded killer here, man. He has shaved his head. He's grew this long-ass beard. He definitely looks almost like a neo-Nazi type of guy. And it's a complete turnaround for him as an actor, man. I mean, you have never seen him in a role like this ever. And it kind of excites me, actually, because, something like, when Sandler does something, dramatic, like Uncut Gems or, Punch Drunk Love or something, you kind of stand up and are like, okay, he's comedic actor, but he's doing something really dramatic and serious and dark. And this is the same with Kevin James. I don't know if this is gonna like transform the guy's career or something into a more serious actor, but he's taking a chance, he's taking a risk, and I appreciate that from him. I really do, man. It looks interesting, like a very twisted and fucked up version of Home Alone, but it could work, man. It honestly could. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. If you've seen the trailer, definitely let me know your thoughts on that one, guys. In the meantime, let's head into the second Walmart and see what goodies we can find. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart here, and I am seeing some new stuff here, like Vivarium, the Blu-ray digital for $14.96 and the DVD for $12.96 right here. Very nice to see this here, man. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, guys, and it was kind of interesting with this movie because I remember when the trailer came out, and I thought it was like a very dark comedy, That's what the trailer sort of left me with. And then when I ended up watching it, it turned out to be anything but a dark comedy, guys. It's basically about this young couple, played by Imogen Poots and Jesse Eisenberg, who are looking for a home to sort of start their lives together, and they meet this really weird real estate agent who takes them to this sort of mysterious suburban neighborhood, and then shows them the house, and he leaves, and they're stuck there. Like, they literally cannot leave, man. They have no way out. They literally drive around in circles. It's like a maze. They can't find their way out of here, and every time they go by, they go to the same goddamn house, number 9, and now they are stuck there, and they can't escape. And that's just basically just the terrifying nightmare that they have to live and deal with, and what the fuck is going on? Like, that's pretty much what it is, man. You know, I enjoyed the movie, but I'm not quite sure I love the movie. I mean, I think the acting here is really good. I think Eisenberg and Imogen Poots are really good. They're not playing it for a laugh. I mean, yeah, they're playing it a little bit for a little bit of comedy in, like, sort of dark times. But to be honest with you, though, they're playing it more for, like, the horror of it and the frustration of it and the fact that they just can't escape. And sort of the unnerving tension that comes from that. That's sort of what they're playing. And I think it actually comes across really good, to be honest with you, man. You know, the movie plays out almost like a, like, modern day episode of The Twilight Zone, I would argue. That would probably be the best way to describe this movie. The problem is the characters have to be a little bit stupid in order for the plot to move forward. Like, there's randomly like this baby that gets put on their doorstep, and they have to raise this baby in order for them to escape. And they know it's not their baby. They know that basically, in a nutshell, they're having to raise this kid, and within like 100 days, the kid's already like 10 years old or something. Like, you know something's wrong with this kid. And Imogen Poots has to go out of her way to be like, oh, hey, this is my kid. And Jesse Eisenberg's like, no, he's not. He's a little fucking mutant, and we shouldn't trust him. And it's like, she trusted him, and then later on in the movie, she says to Jesse Eisenberg, why didn't we just kill him when you said we should have? And I'm like, yeah, duh. Like, what the fuck, man? Like this kid is like some weird fucking creature, alien, whatever the fuck, man. Like, yeah, take his advice, fucking chop its head off, whatever, dude. Like, there's stupid moments like that really frustrated me in the movie. And even at the end of the movie, you still don't really have any answers about what went on exactly. Like, you have a little bit of, like, okay, maybe it's weird aliens, maybe it's some government conspiracy. Yeah, don't really know, man. It's kind of a little bit of a frustrating watch, but it's also not half bad either. I would give it a chance, especially if you're into sort of Twilight Zone style stories. This probably is one that definitely would be ranked under that, I would say. Definitely give it a chance, man. I mean, the acting alone is pretty good, man. And I'm not always the biggest fan of Jesse Eisenberg, so that says a lot when I'm saying he's actually really good in this movie, man, by far. Your home forever. Yeah, fuck that, man. Give it a chance, though. You do get audio commentary with the director, executive producer, and creating the suburban nightmare of Vivarium. By the way, if this is how the suburbs are, then fuck that, man. Apartment living the rest of my goddamn life. Shit. Then over here I'm seeing, oh, finally, we see Fantasy Island for $17.96 right here. Interesting. Okay. So let's talk about Fantasy Island, shall we? Now I got a chance to watch this thing on Amazon Prime as well. Oh, brother. Okay, look, man. This movie the trailers looked really generic, and a lot of the guys and everything were like, dude, we're not touching that with a 10-foot pole. And who can really blame them, dude? I mean, the cover here is pretty cool, dude. You know, I like with the island, and then sort of it almost looks like a skull there. I mean, when you think of Fantasy Island, you think of, beach drinks, having, your most fantastic wish, live through. Ricardo Montalban, the little guy there saying, "Da plane, da plane." I mean, you have all those things, and you're not wrong. And they took all of that, and they spun it into a horror fantasy film that does not work, guys. This movie is flat out trash. I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I'm not gonna split hairs with you, because why do that? It doesn't pay. I'm just gonna be real with you guys. This movie is garbage. This is PG-13 garbage. Okay, this is some of the worst horror that you have seen, dude. It's not imaginative whatsoever. The characters have to be dumb just for the sake of being dumb. They're not like the smartest tools in the shed that you'll ever fucking meet in your life, dude. They know something weird is happening here. They know that, something's not right here, that things are messed up, but oh, well, we have hot guys in front of us, or we have hot chicks, or oh, that woman that I've always wanted revenge on, she just happens to be here. Okay, cool. Like, these characters don't bat a fucking eye at anything, dude, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Open your goddamn fucking eyes, dude. Not only that, but the horror here is really cheap and unimpressive. And I truly do mean that here, guys. I mean, this is supposed to be a horror film, right? And even if it's PG-13, there should still be some good horror, and at least maybe some good kills that would be intense enough for PG-13. But no, dude, not at all, man. You barely get to see any little hint of blood whatsoever here. The kills are so lame and so weak that God, when I get more shocks and more sort of like really, really great epic kill moments from a movie like Black Christmas, which you guys know I don't like, that says something about Fantasy Island, man. Fantasy Island is incredibly stupid, dude. And I also, by the way, I watched the unrated version of this on Amazon Prime, and let me tell you something that didn't even save it, because it's pretty much got to be the same film, because there's really no blood or gore in that version at all, just like maybe not in the theatrical. And then on top of all of this, right, guys, because yeah, stupid characters and the horror sucks and everything, maybe the plot is cool. No, the plot even sucks too, because there's such a complicated plot of, well, this woman wanted revenge on this person because her boyfriend was killed in a fire, and then she wanted her fantasy to have all of them be killed, and it just turns into a really big sort of fucking ridiculous soap opera that I literally sitting there was groaning my fucking eyes, man. I was just rolling them like you wouldn't fucking believe, dude. God, this is terrible, man. Jesus Christ, this is so bad. Man, why can't it just be, okay, the island is evil and that's it, plain and simple? But no, it's got to be a hell of a lot more, man. Dude, God, this is such garbage, man. It really is honestly garbage. It's a waste of some of these actors' talents. It's a waste of releasing a horror film, because you know what? There are some really good PG-13 horror films out there, man. I've talked about sort of Happy Death Day and stuff like that. Then there's a lot of bad PG-13 films that give PG-13 horror a really bad name, and Fantasy Island is one of them. Dude, this movie is flat out garbage. It's not really a good horror film. You don't get good scares here. The characters are incredibly stupid. The plot is soap opera-ish. And shame on Blumhouse, dude. I like Blumhouse a lot, but when you're making garbage like Fantasy Island and fucking Black Christmas remake, dude, you need to be slapped in the goddamn face, man. Fantasy Island is absolute dog shit, and I do not recommend Fantasy Island whatsoever, dude. I wish I could go back and not watch this thing, but I wanted to watch it just to tell you guys how terrible it is. And it's an epic twist you don't want to miss from Chris Rogers of the Hollywood Life. I want to know what goddamn movie he fucking watched, man, because it certainly wasn't this one, dude. From producers of Get Out and Halloween, those movies are actually competent. This movie's a piece of shit, dude. So bad, dude. Stay far, far, far fucking away from this movie, dude. This is one of the worst horror films of the year. It's gotta be. And if it's not, I'd be really surprised, man. You get 8 deleted scenes with commentary from director Jeff Wadlow. Original rated theatrical version included, which, by the way, if the unrated sucked, then the theatrical version really sucks too. And an audio commentary with director Jeff Wadlow and cast, unrated version only. Yeah, I wanna hear what Jeff Wadlow has to say. I wanna hear him defend this motherfucking movie, dude. I want you to defend this shit. I wanna hear what goddamn was going through your fucking mind making this shit, dude. This is terrible. This is god awful. And oh, dude, there are certain horror movies that really just make me want to punch somebody. Fantasy Island is one of them, guys. Give me Ricardo Montalban. Give me the little guy, dude. Any day of the week. I'm not sending the plane for this one to save its fucking life. Then over here, I'm seeing they have the DVD of Rev for $14.96. Live fast, drive faster. Borrowing from Fast and the Furious, are we? Okay. When Mikey's not racing cars, he's stealing them all over the city, but after he gets caught boosting a rare ride from a cop's house, the police force him to go undercover. And their passionate encounter sets up a bloody, powerful collision between Rage and this person. Oh yeah, they're definitely stealing from Fast and Furious on this motherfucker. Oh yeah. Good Lord, man. You know what, man? I swear to God, it's got to be a genre in itself. How many movies steal from Fast and Furious, man? I mean, I have seen a lot of them, man. There are so many movies that steal from that franchise, man. They're trying to get the same sort of excitement and thrills and the cars and the women, and none of them can pull it off, dude. None of them can, man. All of them fail epically, dude. And I don't know why, because it's not like Fast and Furious is some, like, you know, incredibly fantastic franchise that you know, nobody can beat. But for some reason, you know, they just can't get it right, dude. It's a real shame, man. Yeah, this thing is like Fast and the Furious ripoff all over the place, dude. Wow. Rev. Okay, well, that's interesting. And it's got Vivica A. Fox in it, too. Good Lord, man. Whatever happened to Vivica A. Fox, dude? Whatever happened to her, man? Like, she was doing big budget stuff, Independence Day and all these other movies, and suddenly she went down the shitter. She was in, like, that's the last major thing I think I ever saw her in was, like Kill Bill. And that was it, man. And after that, she just went down the shitter. Yeah. Fast and the Furious crap ripoff. I have a feeling this will one day be at the Dollar Tree. I have a feeling, guys. Just wait about a year or so. You'll see it. Then over here I'm seeing they have a 4-season collection of Narcos for $19.96. Of Narcos seasons 1 through 3 and Narcos Mexico season 1. Look at that. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that, man. You know, I heard really good things about Narcos, and I've never actually watched it. I never have, man. I like sort of, you know, drug running, you know, crime, Mexico cartel type of movies and series. I really do appreciate something like a movie like Blow with Johnny Depp, which was really good. And there's some other ones I was thinking of as well. I've heard this is a good show. Now, I've heard about Narcos that it's a good show. I'm not sure about Narcos Mexico, but I have heard this was a good show to definitely get into. I have Netflix, so I definitely got to get into this at some point. Definitely let me know what you guys think of that. But actually, for 1996, that's not a bad price, man. That's not bad at all, dude. If you're into it, for $20, that's a good deal, dude. Then they also have the complete 4th season of Lucifer for 1996 as well. Love that cover, man. That's a great cover, dude. Nice. Now, look, I have never seen a single episode of Lucifer. I haven't. When it started out on Fox, at that point, I didn't have cable, so I didn't really need to watch it. But I remember when I was first seeing the trailers for Lucifer, and I was like, this kind of looks cheesy as shit, man. This looks really cheesy and kind of ridiculous. And okay, he's Lucifer, and he's coming to Earth to like solve crimes, and what? And I was like, I'm not sure about this one. But honestly, it's gained a very loyal fan base, and a fan base that has stuck around, dude. Now, when Fox ended up like canceling it, Netflix picked it back up, and I know Netflix, I think, distributed season 4, if I'm not mistaken, and I know they're doing a season 5 as well, I believe. Now, you guys got to let me know whether Lucifer is worth it or not, because it kind of has an interesting premise with Lucifer coming down and influencing things and, you know, solving crimes, but at the same time, it feels like kind of a every week procedural type of cop show at the same time, so it kind of feels kind of boring too. So I don't know whether it's more unique than that or not. Like I said, the guy who plays Lucifer, he seems to be really cool. He seems to be really having a really fun time with the role and really relishes playing the devil. And so I'm kind of curious what you guys think about Lucifer. Definitely let me know about that one, guys. All you get here is deleted scenes, but I know Lucifer is on Netflix as well, so I definitely got to give Lucifer a chance. If you guys let me know what your thoughts are. It looks interesting, but I'm a little hesitant, so let me know, guys. And then I'm seeing over here they have a Shudder original DVD for $9.96. Party Hard, Die Young. Interesting cover though, very, very colorful and vibrant. I like the killer right there, and it's a glow-in-the-dark cover. Okay, interesting. All kinds of fun for the family with this one, guys. A new age slasher remix with plenty of slaughter to spare. Oh, do tell. Party, okay. Sun, sand, sex, and all-night dancing at a beautiful island resort is the perfect graduation celebration for a group of young friends looking for one last taste of freedom before they go their separate ways. But the dancing and drinking come to a halt when people start disappearing. Oh no! And a mass murderer sends the ominous message, this party will be their last. Oh god, okay. It's just basically fucking stupid teenagers getting killed by a fucking murderer, and you know, the survivor girl, and eventually they get the revenge. I've seen this movie a million fucking times, man. There's nothing original here. It's the same fucking shit, just updated for modern times, so the teenagers are even more stupid. Good lord. Do you remember movies like Club Dread or Cabin in the Woods? Like, you know, they kind of made fun of the genre, made fun of these sort of slasher movies, and ever since they did that, I really can't take movies like Party Hard, Die Young seriously. I really can't, dude. It's the same fucking shit, man. And you know, Friday the 13th did it better, Halloween did it better. I don't really see how this is inventive or ingenuity. I mean, the killer, I guess the mask kind of looks okay, but you know, I mean, when Cabin in the Woods came out and movies like Club Dread, it deconstructed the genre so good that I kind of look at these movies now that came after it as kind of like, dude, you're trying to be serious when movies have already made fun of you like 20 times over, and other films have done it way better. I'm not saying you can never do another slasher film again in your life, but you gotta be clever about it, dude. You can't be the same old stupid blood and boobs and booze and oh no, a knife, come on, man. Be a little bit more clever. I want my horror to I want my horror to be better than that, dude. I mean, is it just me? I mean, let me know what you guys think of Party Hard, Die Young. This critic says it defies expectations and keeps you guessing until the end. Well, I hope that's true. Because if it is, and this is better than I'm giving it credit for, then look, I'll eat my words. But just taking a glance at this, it doesn't really inspire much confidence, dude. Just my thoughts on that one. Then over here I'm seeing they have the DVD of Getaway for $9.96. To survive, she must kill. Not bad cover. Scout Taylor Compton, man, whatever happened to Scout Taylor Compton, dude? Like, she did some really great movies. She did sort of the couple of Halloween remake films. She did that Runaways movie, and then she's done a lot of like bargain basement horror stuff, and you haven't really seen her in much big stuff anymore. I did meet her at a horror convention, and she was actually incredibly nice, really nice person, and very warm, kind-hearted. I'm surprised she hasn't been given other opportunities. She could have been like one of those sort of new age scream queens, but yeah, she hasn't really turned into that, unfortunately. Sacrifice is salvation. Tomorrow has planned a weekend late getaway with her when she gets kidnapped by a backwoods cult. Those fucking backwood cults. Those goddamn bastards. They're like cockroaches. You can't get rid of those fuckers. Jeez. You ever remember that X-Files episode in season 8 with Scully, when she went to this sort of backwoods town and she got kidnapped by the people and everything? Like, that's a really great episode of the X-Files, and this kind of reminds me of that. Like, they get captured by this cult, and like something happens with them, and they have to try to escape these deranged lunatics. That's pretty much what cults are anyway, just deranged, creepy lunatics. It doesn't look half bad, honestly, and I do like Scout Taylor Compton, so this might look like something I'd be interested in, man. If you guys know much about Getaway, definitely let me know. Not bad. And not bad, some of the interesting indie stuff this week, some TV season stuff. Finally get to see that Trash Fest, Fantasy Island, and Vivarium. Not bad over here at this second Walmart. Much better than the first by far, guys. Not bad at all. Alright, let's head out. I have to admit, guys, that I'm always so glad to come into this Walmart, dude, and check out the physical media, because what one Walmart doesn't have, this one definitely will by far, guys. Some interesting indie fare this week, some big name titles that we finally got to check out here. I guess the third place is definitely the charm, right? Go figure, man. But this one always really goes out of its way to put out the new releases and the indie stuff, and for that, I really do appreciate them in a big bad way. Yeah, sometimes I shit on these movies, but I wouldn't be able to do that if they didn't put out the media. So, hey, I do appreciate what these guys do every single week, putting out the media for movie lovers like myself and for you guys out there as well. Not half bad this week. Of course, mind you, that we didn't go to Best Buy, and I believe Best Buy had a steelbook for Birds of Prey. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see that this week, but, hey, sacrifices. One day, Best Buy will open up again, and we'll get to see all the goodies. But until then, we just have to wait, guys. But I hope you enjoyed it here. Some really interesting stuff to check out. Now, finally time to head home. Finish the video. All right, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And yeah, we had to go hunting and searching a little bit to find all the stuff that was out there this week, but we eventually found it, guys. And what I'm really finding very interesting and very fascinating now, and I sort of even came across it today at Target when I was there. There was this younger pregnant woman, I'm assuming was with her friend, and they went to Target looking for Blu-ray and DVD players. And I'm finding now, because they had that conversation with them, I was overhearing with sort of the electronics retail worker, that, oh, this is the first one that we're buying, we've been doing digital, but we're gonna go, finding some stuff that we haven't found before and going physical media, we can't trust them, the movie theaters, and blah, blah, blah. I heard it all. And I was like, wow. I was like, you're really starting to see physical taking a hold that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. And with all the variety and selection that's still coming out week in and week out, and trust me, I continue to be surprised by this. Because, looking at everything that got released this week, looking at next week and the week after that, it feels like there's a lot being released. Some of you have commented to me and has said to me, well, Seth, there's not a lot being released, upcoming soon. I said, I don't know what you guys are looking at, but honestly, I go on Blu-ray.com and I'm looking at all the releases that are coming out, man, and there's still quite a huge amount of releases coming out week in and week out. As I said, this is going to slow down eventually. It's not going to keep up the same pace as we're getting. But when it eventually does, we will have had a lot of physical media to check out so far in 2020. And with all the pandemic and craziness that is happening, the conversations have started to come around to how important physical media is, not only to own it as far as the ownership of it is concerned, to have it in your collection, that no one can take that away from you, but also the fact of having entertainment at your home, at your fingertips. Because again, and I said it last week, that as much as I want to go back to the movie theaters, and trust me, damn do I want to go back, I don't know when it will relatively be safe enough to sit in a movie theater with 100 to 200 plus people and feel comfortable enough to actually do that. I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later. But I think a lot of people are having those same discussions that I'm talking about. And I think they look at physical media, they look at the rental business, they look at places like Netflix and all these other stuff, and they say, this is the avenue that I want to go down right now. And maybe I'll get to that eventually, but this is where I want to go. And I'm happy to see it, man. I mean, like I said, this conversation is not going to last forever. We're going to get back to the theater. We're going to get back to, DVD, Blu-rays being, a dinosaur. We're going to get back to that eventually. But for the time being, having these discussions and hearing things from people at these retail stores, it just kind of warms my heart to think that we're in an era now where we're going back to some of the importance that we did have at one point. And that's great. I hope the conversation lasts as long as it possibly can, guys. I just think it's great to see it, man. I really honestly do. But this week there was a lot that came out, man. Comic book stuff, horror, romance, some indie titles, TV seasons. Stuff came out this week for sure, guys. So definitely let me know what you picked up. As far as I'm concerned, well, let's get into what I got, guys. And the first package I got is actually a package from eBay. Now, this is actually a dark comedy starring Bobcat Goldthwait. Now, I haven't ever had this in the collection, but I've always remembered really liking it. I saw it long time ago, man. And I've always sort of had it in the back of my mind picking it up. And I know some people found this title at the Dollar Trees. I never did. However, what they found at the Dollar Tree was the same title, but they didn't find it with the slipcover. I found it through eBay off of a seller. I said, if this comes with the slipcover in perfect condition, ship it to me, and they did. And the slip that honestly now is pretty much very hard to find, I ended up getting it in with the Blu-ray as well. So it's great. And I love Bobcat Goldthwait. So for me, man, it's a win-win. Bobcat's really cool. The movie's really dark and twisted and really great comedy. So, and I got it for a really great deal with the limited slip. Not half bad, guys. I'll definitely take this one for sure. I got a package in the mail from Facebook. Yeah, so how do I say this about this title? So I have been searching for this title for a really long while. This is a title that is currently out of print. And I got this through a Facebook user. I sort of put it out there in the world on Facebook saying, hey, I'm looking for this. Does anybody have it or interested in selling? And one guy said, yes, I have a brand new sealed copy of this out of print title. And not only that, but he ended up actually saying to me, oh, it also comes with the limited slip as well. I said, this title came with a slip? He said, yeah, this came with a limited slip, which is also in perfect condition, he told me. So I'm like, okay, man. Now, I've already opened this thing. I've already opened it to check it out, but it's beautiful, guys. This is an out-of-print title from the UK, from 88 Films. It is a horror slasher from the 80s. It's one that I've been searching for a long while. I've been searching for this version. It also came out here in the States as well, not too long back, and that also is now out of print as well. This is a title I have been definitely wanting in the collection. It's sort of a holy grail title for me. The fact that I have the now UK out of print title that, by the way, goes for big money on eBay, and you may not even be able to find it on eBay because no one's really selling it. Maybe one or two people, but that's about it. But the prices skyrocket. And I got it for a really fantastic price. Brand new, with the slip in perfect condition. I was shocked, guys. This thing goes for major money, out of print, and I have it, and I am super pumped, man. So happy to get this one in the mail. A Holy Grail title that I finally am happy to have in the collection. So I got that. And last but certainly not least, I also got a package in the mail from Amazon Prime. Now, this is actually a comedy title that came out last month. With all of the pandemic stuff and all the craziness that's going on, guys, I finally was able to get it at my doorstep later rather than when I wanted it, but hey, I'll take what I can get, man. This is a title that's never been in the collection, but this is a title that I saw back in the day, when my mother and father were taping movies on VHS, and I love this movie. This movie is such an underrated comedy classic, and I'm so happy that it finally got the love that it deserved on Blu-ray. So richly deserves it. So happy to finally be able to revisit this thing, man. This is one definitely worth having in the collection by far, man. It's one I loved on VHS years back, and I'm sure I'm going to love it again on Blu-ray, dude. So I got that. A Holy Grail title from Facebook, and a Bobcat Goldthwait dark comedy from eBay. So 3 titles that I picked up, guys. But you guys will definitely not find out exactly what I picked up until my Blu-ray Pickles video for May will drop next month. It'll show off all the titles that I got during the month here. And my God, man, 80s, 90s, retro titles, collector's editions, limited editions, out of print titles. Yes, some really good stuff that I am getting for the month, guys. So definitely stay tuned to that video. And this weekend, we are going to travel back when I will be putting out my Blu-ray pickups for March. It is going to be a great video. It's sort of a little bit of a hint of what I got for the month, man. And that is, I got some really great exploitation films. I got some really interesting classic retro titles, stuff from the UK, stuff from Shout Factory, and also possibly a little nunsploitation. Possibly, guys. So, yes, that will be coming out this upcoming weekend. The March Blu-ray pickup video is going to be real good. So, definitely stay tuned to that one, guys. And before I let you guys go, I wanted to talk about the news that really sort of hit me hard as a physical media lover, and I felt the need to really talk to you guys about it. Now, a couple days ago, I got an email from Twilight Time, and I thought it was just going to be another sale thing, whatever. And, I looked at the email, and it was really hard to read, because it basically came down to saying that they're done. Twilight Time is over. And they're closing their doors for good. I was shocked. I'm not gonna lie, man. I didn't know what to think, man. And the email that I got said a lot, man. But I'll kind of read a little bit of it to you guys. After 9 years of successful operations, to which 380 motion pictures from the 1930s to the 2010s have been released on DVD and Blu-ray disc, the home video label Twilight Time, founded by veteran Hollywood studio executives and filmmakers Brian Jameson and the late, dearly celebrated Nick Redman, will not release any further titles, and we will be winding down operations this summer. A changing market, the rising costs of title acquisitions, and the passing of longtime partner and company spokesman Nick Redman are key reasons for the closure. This company was founded in 2011. It has not even been 10 years. Hasn't even been 10 years yet. And the company is going down. Now, am I fully surprised by this? No, I'm not fully surprised by it. And the reason why, to be honest with you guys, is that Twilight Time has been suffering for a little while now. They have a business model which worked a long time back. But unfortunately, now with so many companies that are in the business and them doing such very unique and interesting stuff with special features and packaging, Twilight Time really couldn't compete anymore. Not only that, but they never really invested in a lot of newer features for their titles, at least not a ton of them. And the price point at times was a little overwhelming, to say the least. On top of that, I noticed that they weren't really acquiring the titles that really other companies were getting. And they were sort of behind the curve on that. And unfortunately, a lot of what they were releasing was very niche, which is not a bad thing. But when you're really trying to keep a company afloat, you need those big titles to really be the sellers that drive the next amount of titles, and then you could, keep on going from there. You need those big, huge releases to keep your company going, and they just, for a while, didn't have that. But that being said, they've always been a company that has had my respect, because they have released some really unique and genuine titles that honestly will never ever see another Blu-ray release. I truly feel this. Maybe ever. Looking at their catalog of titles, they had stuff, very niche releases from the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and the 60s and you name it. Movies that I had never heard of, that they would put out and give love to these films where other companies wouldn't even touch them. And they really gave these films a voice to not only an older generation that appreciated those movies, but also a younger generation who could find them and cherish them just like their older counterparts will. That was hugely important. I always talk about physical media as a place to preserve film, and it really is important. And companies like Twilight Time was doing that in spades. And to see this company go is just is really sad to me, man. It's really honestly sad, and I I will miss Twilight Time. I remember, guys, I remember like a few years back, having to wait online to buy things like Fright Night or Christine or stuff like that, and it would be only 3,000 copies, and you knew that if you did not get on that website within the first, dare I say, 10 to 20 minutes, you were fucking screwed. Like that was how big the demand was. And Twilight Time supplied these movies. And then on top of that, to have some of these niche releases that you'd never heard of, and then to give those a chance as well, that's what I loved about Twilight Time. They were such a unique company, and they really paved the way for so many other companies that came after them that has, in a lot of ways, perfected what they started. You know, I don't want to see any company die, especially nowadays. I don't want to see any company just close their doors. And I certainly didn't want to see Twilight Time do it, man. But I understand why they had to do it. I understand the reasonings behind it. And I think for those 9 years, you really have to respect what this company did and what they achieved and how they changed the game. And they really honestly did, man. We can argue about the pricing, we can argue about the artwork, we can argue about special features, and those are all valid points, but at the end of the day, this company truly achieved something special, and we have to acknowledge that, man. Physical media is going to go forward. There's all these great companies that are out there: Criterion, Code Red, Shout Factory, Severin, Vinegar Syndrome, Synapse, you name it. So many really wonderful companies. And they're going to release a lot of really great physical media. But what Twilight Time released, these companies are never going to touch. And I really appreciated what Twilight Time did for these old style movies from back in the day that really deserve the love. And just continuing to be a champion of physical media and giving these movies a chance to be in your home. And for you to have that entertainment at your fingertips. And I really do appreciate them quite a bit. So Twilight Time, you are absolutely going to be missed, man. I can't tell you how much joy I've had with your discs over the years. And I just recently purchased a Twilight Time disc that I'll be showing off next month. So by all means, that's the last Twilight Time purchase that I'll ever have. I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know that was going to be the last Twilight Time purchase I was ever going to have. But it's a great movie, and it's well worth being the final one that I pick up, guys. I know they're going to be having a sale of a lot of these niche titles that they've had out, and they're going to do that, I think, through June, and then that's it. They're going to close their doors for good, man. Physical media is going to continue, and seeing a company like Twilight Time, which was so important for so many movie lovers out there, go the way of the dinosaur is a shame. But I think for us movie lovers and physical media collectors, I think we have to appreciate them, we have to honor them, and we have to never forget what they did for physical media and what they did for movies that desperately needed the attention, and they gave it to them. And that's worth honoring them just alone, man. So let me know your thoughts on Twilight Time. Let me know, the titles that you have from them. Let me know what your thoughts are on the company. And what are your thoughts now that they're gone? What other companies are really going to step up with some of these titles that Twilight Time had and now is going to be gone? Is another company going to really pick up the slack? Are we ever going to see a company like Twilight Time ever again? I doubt it, because they were really, truly unique, and they were a company that really, was a really great innovator for the times, and unfortunately they never got to their 10-year anniversary, but I know for me it's a company that I'll truly remember the good times and all the wonderful media that they put out, man. You will truly, truly be missed. Twilight Time. Alright guys, well that'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Tuesday videos I do every single week. Check out the Blu-ray pickup videos. Check out the movie hunting. Check out the theatrical movie reviews I do with my friends. Other movie topic videos, and much more. If you're a lover of movies and physical media, hit subscribe and become a part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank my wonderful subscribers. You guys are absolutely amazing. Commenting, liking the videos, giving me great feedback. You really share your love and passion of movies with me, and I hope I do the same right back to you. So thank you so much. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and love how I talk about movies in the videos, definitely subscribe and keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. FilmFan108. I post special pictures and videos from time to time on social media as well. Alright guys, I will see you back next week for more physical media goodness. And in the meantime, hope you all enjoy your physical media and happy hunting.